petrol station. It's got a Costa Express concession. Costa coffee machine, and of course there's a Halfords just right at the end of this road here. Along this road. So we're heading back to Halesowen. So I just hope that you enjoy the journey. Okay then guys, we are now in Ruby High Street. So this is Ruby High Street. Now we covered this on the outbound 202 the previous week, and now we're doing it the inbound 202. So we're heading in the direction back towards Halesowen. Now, as you know, the 202 heading towards Halesowen faces the Bromsgrove direction of the 144A, while the Bromsgrove direction of the 202 faces the Longbridge direction of the 144A. So we are now at the end of the high street, so we're now going to turn sharply left, which is right here. So here we go, we're turning left, and it's really great that I'm filming through this windscreen here, so you can see what's coming up. So it's a POV, point of view, so you can see what's coming up on this route, rather than filming sideways, where you'd rather film facing forward, so you can see what's coming up en route. So here we go, let's continue on our journey. So then just past us was the other 202 bus, and that one was the spare bus, and that one was a Volvo E7R Relay with a Plaxton Centro body, and the fleet number of that one was 30825, and that was BX09 SRO, and that bus has leather seats in. And as you know, that bus used to be a black diamond liveried Plaxton Centro, and that was for use on routes across the Black Country, because it was known as the Royal Black Diamond Bus, and the Royal Black Diamond buses looked very iconic. There was a Black Diamond Optare Solo that survived at Redditch up until 2020, and then it got repainted into the brighter diamond bus livery. So anyway, here we go, we're now on the estate at the back end of Ruby, and we're on our way to Frankley now. So then, just now passing us is an Enviro 400 on a 63 service heading to Frankley, and that is operated by NXWM from the Birmingham Central Depot. So we are now on our way towards Frankley now, and we will be coming towards the Holly Hill Shopping Centre, which is...
Okay then guys, as you know everything has all settled down. So we're now going on to Ormond Road, and we're paralleling alongside the 61 and the 63 corridor, which is operated by NXWM and is operated from Birmingham Central Garage. We can see they're using the ADL Enviro 400s. Obviously most depots have got a lot of those back, like Pensnett, Wolverhampton, West Brom, Walsall, I think, I'm not sure. I know Coventry had them, but they've gone for the electric vehicles. So we're now coming over to Frankley now, from Holly Hill Shopping Centre. Close. Outlets here as well. So 61, now if you remembered 5 years ago this route had stopped operating due to obvious reasons, but then it was replaced by a rerouted version called the 44 that went via Northfield, but obviously the 202 was then later reinstated to resume its normal route and timetable. Now there's like extra buses put in with certain journeys being integrated in with the 302, the bus to Sixth Form Road. So here we are. Now Frankley on road terminus is the terminus for the 63 and 61, and this is the Arden Business Park, and we're now en route over to Halesowen. So you'll probably be guessing where we're heading for now. Well, it's just round the corner. This is going to be one of our favourite bits, the fun part on this route. Going along New Street, New Street, Birmingham number, Birmingham name, well obviously named after the railway station in the heart of Birmingham. Passengers are starting to decline now, number of passengers obviously, because it's now just nearly 4:10, coming towards the evening time, and we're on our way to Halesowen. So we're on our way to Halesowen. So today we did the X20 from Birmingham to Bromsgrove, and then we went off camera to Redditch and back. Did some lifts down at Redditch, and now doing the 202 back to Halesowen. Back to Halesowen. Obviously the 202 succeeded 5 years later. It's one of my favourite routes in the whole of the Birmingham area. There's a playground there. No one's going on, so I think they'll be So the 61 service. And you probably guessed where we're going out. That's right, we're by the 1929 pylons, known as the Frankley Harbour pylons, as I used to call it back in them days, but on the previous channels, obviously. Now I have to say, like, these are the 1929 pylons were the first ones built in Scotland. And so here we are. So we've got their modern houses, and you probably guessed where we're now heading for. We just come off Holyhill Road and we're now going up, you guess, that's right, Egg Hill Lane, where we're going to thrash up the hill 50 miles an hour, well, hopefully, if we can make it. But I know it's going to be like a big, massive plunge. So here we are, Frankley Harbour pylons, as I used to call it, Frogmill Road, Egg Hill Lane. Next stop, Balmoral Road. For connecting links to Newman University, please now hold tight as we're about to take the 50 mile an hour speed. Just trying to take the Michael out of Ivona Amy. There we go, ready now for Egg Hill Lane, the fun part. Here comes the fun part. Frankley pylons over there, obviously. There we go. There's the reservoir over there, and once you get upwards you'll get a massive view of Birmingham over there, Birmingham city centre, and if I'm filming on the opposite direction you'll get a good view of Dudley area. So obviously we're trying our best to get up this hill. It's a bit quite slow compared to normal, but obviously you just got to put up with it really. It's just like going up Lodge Farm. There's the city of Birmingham just over there. Nice view, you can see the QE Hospital, the Queen Elizabeth, and the old Joe Clock Tower. Downwards goes on to Birmingham Airport, and if you go further downwards to Redditch, further on the stations to Loftus, Swanage and Dorset. I love this, but this is going to all change. Obviously, as you know, we're going up this hill, but you might think when we're going, I know it is quite steep, but when we go, it will be easy downhill than you think it would be. So, Frankley Beaches.
we're doing the return, and now we're doing the return journey back to Halesowen. So here we are now in Bartley Green. Okay then guys, we are now going to be heading down towards Halesowen and going down the Mucklow Hill. So here's the Mucklow Hill coming up right now. So we're going round the roundabout at Hurst Green and we're going to go down Mucklow Hill. So this is Mucklow Hill, and when we go down Mucklow Hill we'll see the B&Q Halesowen branch. So the Halesowen branch of B&Q is going to be coming up right now. So it will be on our right hand side, and then of course we'll have the Wickes store, which used to be a WH Smith Do It All, and of course a Focus. So here we are now on the final approach to Halesowen, and I'll do my outro when we approach Halesowen Town Centre. So here we go, coming down towards the roundabout here at Mucklow Hill. So here's the roundabout right here, just by the B&Q store in Halesowen. So then, welcome back to Halesowen, and I hope you enjoyed the journey from Bromsgrove on the 202 service. And we were here this morning on the 002 service from Merry Hill up to Wheely Castle, and now we've come back to Halesowen on the 202 service. So we're just going to cross the roundabout by turning left and going past the parish church, and we will be parking up at Halesowen bus station. So we will be heading to the main stand at Halesowen bus station shortly, and we will be going past the William Shenstone Wetherspoons pub. So here we are, we've just gone across the roundabout, so we're entering Halesowen Town Centre right now. And there's Halesowen Parish Church, which is coming up in front of us. So there's the parish church in Halesowen, and here's the drop-off point for most services that come into Halesowen in this direction. So here's the shops here in Halesowen, and there's Halesowen High Street, Halesowen Town Centre, and there's the William Shenstone Wetherspoons pub. So that's the William Shenstone, and we're now coming into Halesowen bus station. And thank you very much for watching the 202 service. I hope you enjoyed the trip all the way from Bromsgrove, and we will be doing more and more videos in the not too distant future. So welcome back to Halesowen. So here we are, just approaching the stand, just right behind the X10 service, on a service towards Gornal Wood.